Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait.
You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march. We'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for a clue, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing. ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including a tour in Australia and Harmon Country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. It really is a taste treat.
Hey, it's the Sklar Brothers from Dumb People Town. We're with Dan Van Kirk, and our guest this week is John Hamm. Hammer!
That's me.
That's him, and we have some incredible stories and one of the best Lionel Richie anecdotes you'll ever hear. Tune in, review it, rate
We'll be
it.
dancing on the ceiling all night long with a story about a couch going through a drive-thru. That's all I'm saying, right? Dumb People Town?
Yeah, there's some fun ones. Let's get in a fight at a wedding again too, like we did with Bronger. We're back for another one of those.
Let's do that, Hammer. So happy to have you.
Kids, it's good to be here.
Feral Audio.
Stay on the beat. Hello, white people. With almost no sense of rhythm, from Hollywood, California, Harmontown is now in session. Spencer Crittenden. Spencer. And the mayor of Harmontown, Dan Harmon.
Hello. Thank you very much. I was just watching Lady Gaga's halftime thing. It's pretty awesome. I risk nothing by saying I admire Lady Gaga. No one's gonna boo me for saying that. I liked her. Well, one person wants to be special. That's more just you cheering yourself. Cheering narcissism. Like, I'm not your average fan. Like people on Twitter, they're always tweeting at me and going like, no, you won't say anything unless I say something negative, so fuck you. Just kidding, I love your work. I was like, you're not wrong, but I like But I block people that do that because I'm just like, fuck you. Then you're worse. You're worse than bad people. Like if you truly love me, just you should accept my laziness. You should be my codependent lover. You should just support me. And my good mood should be your good mood. You shouldn't need anything from me, or I'm out the door. And you know that about me. You've learned that about me. You've put up with 4 years of abuse. You've lied to doctors for me. Too soon? Too soon?
What was
60,000 years of misogyny?
What was it, Dan, that struck you positively about the Lady Gaga?
Well, first of all, her fucking, not only her, well, just her wire work in general, just as a decision, is always an amazing. I admire anyone who chooses wire work. From Garth Brooks to Beyonce to anybody. I thought, like, if you say you bring out wires, I'm already on your side. I'm not. I'm not gonna side with gravity. I don't hope you fall and hurt yourself. I admire you, and I wouldn't be willing to do it. But then, having chosen wires, she didn't just. Now, Jeff, as you know, I've been in the shit. I was at Radio City Music Hall. I wrote for the 2006 VMAs. Beyonce, Queen Bee, she came plummeted down on some fucking wires. I watched her rehearse. She's a pro. Stunningly gorgeous, amazing woman, great wire work. She's great, but Lady Gaga, so many years later, starts at the top of the stadium.
She jumped off the.
She
Eiffel
jumped off
Tower.
like a regular person, like. But then it cut wide, and she was doing this like Spider-Man like jiggle on the way down, and I thought that was a cool thing to commit to because here's what I liked about Lady Gaga's performance. She did everything that I would do if I was in wires. Like I would also do that on the way down because I'd be like a little spider. She didn't try to like act like it's natural that she's like Helen Slater and Supergirl.
Also, I want to give some props to the people that created that rig because those harnesses. Because she was wearing like a very small, skimpy outfit. She has a very tiny rig underneath that, and that's not comfortable. Like for that to work, it's tighter than you want it to be for that to be like a safe mechanism.
Yeah.
So like she committed to. Lip syncing a whole thing, but like, there's no way to sing when you have that thing on you, because she's wearing a girdle made of girdles.
But she took your lover, your life partner, your SO, Church. We were watching in the green room, and she said, yeah, she really successfully took a Super Bowl halftime and made it just look like one of her videos, which is a huge feat, like for the whole team. I thought it looked wonderful. I don't understand what was Neil Patrick Harris trying to tweet when he said he was gagging over her halftime show because she's the best. I think maybe did he mean to say gagaing, or is this new slang from the streets that I gotta catch up to? Yeah. Man, I was gagging. You're amazing. Your haircut's making me gag. What? Fuck you. Mm-mm. Gotcha. It's the future.
Now, is NT here tonight? No. NT Kwaku. He tweeted. He goes, I actually really liked that. Like he was down for that. He thought that was super cool. But I think more importantly than Lady Gaga's performance, I think it's time to have a good old-fashioned sports corner.
Well, Jeff, I gotta tell you, I mean, yeah. So where do I start with the fact that the Falcons lost a 25-point lead in the second half of the game?
Oh shit! Wait,
this is the first Super Bowl in history that was won in overtime?
This guy did homework.
Yeah, because I was looking for Lady Gaga's video.
Okay.
I got spoiled.
Aside from Tom Brady, name one other player.
Bill Belichick. Because I also saw Richard Spencer's tweet. So Richard Spencer was he's now on Twitter. He's like a racist gourmand. He's like, I'm going for the Patriots, and he had a little checklist. It was like, Tom Brady and Belichick both support Trump. More white receivers. Like he had all the racial stats for the Patriots.
Yeah. Yeah, the only team with three white wide receivers.
Yeah,
wow.
he loves how white the football team is, and so that's like, but it's like typically people who are giving you sports statistics are helping you bet and win, but he's just like, my money's on the master race, and it's not smart money is not on Aryans for athletics since like the 1936 Olympics, like it's never been, like, we settled that a long time ago. Steve Bannon looks like the time I tried to shave my sack.
He also
and absolutely failed.
As I tweeted today, he looks just like Bill Belichick. They both wear the same headset.
Beards are in, Steve Bannon. Like you don't even have to look the way you do to grow one. Like you should grow a beard. That is uncomfortable, that face.
But
that is the face of someone who is proud of their race.
And he also has straight up like W.C. Fields gin blossoms. Like he's clearly.
Oh, and his eyes are like, they're like welling with blood tears. It's like the nerdy version of the Casino Royale bad guy. Like he just has a blood stigmatism in both eyes. He's a terrible writer. He's a terrible person. And we got to get him out because he's going to fucking kill me.
I thought you were going to say, we got to get him on the show.
No. You saw the thing. I retweeted it, and you guys hang on my every tweet. And you re-hang on my every retweet. There was he wrote a movie treatment. He wanted to be, he's like a hack that had got a piece of Seinfeld somehow.
Yeah, he used to be in
he's got
Hollywood.
points in Seinfeld.
He used to be in Hollywood before all of this happened.
Yeah. I think that's what gets my goat is that Trump and Bannon, they both kind of represent the things I hate most about myself.
Right.
Like other people are like, Trump reminds me of my dad. I'm like, my dad is way cooler than Donald Trump. Like it's me. It's like who does this remind me of when Donald Trump tweets? It's like, oh, it's me. It's me. It's it's just bad. All the things that make him a bad person. But anyways, Steve Bannon reminds me of the bad writer part of me, and he there was some treatment that surfaced, and it's documentary style, of course, because Hackenstein. There's like no narrative nuts at all. No narrative butts, no cuts, no narrative coconuts. Push
episode title. Episode
push
title.
The structural button. Pull the dialogue chain. Out come chocolate. Poo-poo train. Choo-choo train. All right. Anyways. But there's a treatment, and it's like, and he refers to Islamic fascism, but he spells it fascism. He didn't.
What's the deal with this face? Is that like a thing is that like a British thing? Because too many people are worried about fascism.
Wait, are you telling me you can spell it that way?
I don't know. That's what I want to know because
it was so delicious that he just never looked up the word fascism.
So many people are doing it, and I don't know. I haven't bothered to look it up. Has anyone seen it spelled fascism in the audience?
I mean, is that like they spell favorite with a U? And
that's what I'm wondering. I don't think so. I'd believe that many people are stupid, but it's just striking.
I don't understand. Well, I don't know. My favorite new thing is like all the like armchair electronic forensics that go on, like when the sheet left off it said there was like the phone log of all the leaders Trump talked to, and then it was like President of Mexico, talk to him, President of whatever, President, and then it was like it just said talk to Australia or something like that. And it didn't have the guy's name, and it was, or did it say President of Australia and then left it blank?
They did, at some point, they had President there, yeah.
But they, and somebody said, like, oh, if you Google President in Australia, there's no Wikipedia or Google hit that comes up, so they just left it blank. And I'm like, oh my God. I love the backtracking and realizing, that with unprecedented, too. I did the same thing. I typed in unprecedented, and something came up that I can't remember. I remember you can realize, like, you can walk in the shoes of stupid people, and go like, oh my God, that's what happened, and they're running everything, and it's amazing. But it's it's getting normal. We're normalizing, right? That's what we're supposed to do. No, it's getting totally normal.
Is there a William Ralph or Ralph William here in the crowd?
Woo!
Is there?
Were your grandparents born here?
Get the fuck
Because we've
out.
got a new segment for our show. Why did you want Ralph Lauren to?
Is it William C. Ralph or Ralph C. William? William C. Ralph. Did you drop a credit card by any chance?
I'm thinking you must. It's almost a guarantee now.
Would you happen to know the last 2 digits of it? 7. Nope.
Is that
Also,
Ralph Lauren's worst nemesis? Like he's always trying to foil his...
Ralph or William, I have your card up here. You dropped it, so if you want to come up and show me some ID, I'll give it back to you.
Nice.
Or I keep it, or I just announce. You have 10 seconds before I read the entire 4, 8, 11. That's not even.
All right. Ralph is at the podium. He's showing the ID. I like that we have like two-factor authentication here.
No, we had a guy lie to get on stage in San Francisco. I don't trust these fuckers anymore. What was that guy's name? Zane? That guy was a piece of shit. When he came up on stage, I missed the fact that he said to Dan and to the audience that he had lied about being a Trump supporter to get on stage. I'm so happy I didn't hear him say that, because I would have summarily thrown him out of the building. Like his suicide thing notwithstanding, I still would have made a point of telling him to fuck straight off into the night. You can't just lie to get up on stage.
We would prefer you did not do that. Yeah, it's.
I feel bad to make this guy show me ID to give him his credit card back, because I don't know what world we live in anymore. That might have been Adam Goldberg wearing wearing high heels to get up here and take this guy's credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Adam, you here? Oh, you son of a bitch! Adam Goldberg, everybody! No! Well, that
said the magic words.
That did.
No one to blame but yourself.
I just Beetlejuiced you up on stage.
He's 3 times more deadly than Beetlejuice.
Jesus Christ! Why is that so terrifying that you're here of all times?
Because the Patriots won. And
I know
I'm from
you
New
fucking
England.
you New England asshole.
The Overdogs won, and it feels so good. I've been a fair weather fan for 15 years.
I
I've watched a lot of Super Bowls.
I'm gonna hit your music cue so quick your head's gonna spin.
He has a music cue?
I'm gonna play a musical sting to get him off the stage at any moment.
I accept that, damn it.
Let's reconnect, Adam. What's been going on with you since we last met?
I started a company. It's doing really well, and I'm trying to start a political action committee with Spencer. That's
he
about as far as we
started
thought.
DMing me about a political action committee.
You responded.
Oh wait, no.
This is about as far as we got. I think this is more than we've talked about.
I think what he's saying is essentially technically accurate.
Yeah!
You guys are in direct contact with each other, and it is an
this is
ongoing
the
channel of
second step.
communication.
We did talk about a thing.
We've elevated it now.
What's your philosophy about political action? I mean, a lot of people. Any port in a storm. Like if you got ideas, like I want to hear them.
I love that the America's premier Nazi is saying, "Oh, it's white people who did it," while the 4 catches were done by a Jewish guy in the end zone. Like, are we white? Are Jews
Did
white?
you just
Are we
ignore
wh-
my question? You just. You didn't even,
That's my political.
You're
Tess,
just like,
you go
anyways,
further
fuck
yourself.
off. So here's my first bit. You didn't even hear
I
me.
believe I'm one of the hardcore people. I went to a symposium on the letter from a Birmingham jail, so I do have a nuanced opinion on this. But I do believe you should
That's
fucking
what
jaw jack Nazis
I've
in
always
the face.
what I've always respected about you, Adam, is your nuance.
We all agree you can punch Nazis.
Yeah. When
There's
they
ongoing
go
debate about
low-
whether that's helpful or not.
Yeah,
But
when they go low, you stomp on their Nazi skulls. But
but that's not your committee's.
that's not
platform.
what we're raising money for.
Can I punch up your slogan? When
Give
they
it
go
to me.
low, we go high.
Missed it, Jeff.
Can't believe I
That bought me another
just
40 seconds, I'm
high-fived
sure.
Adam Gold.
He wants He wants you in on this, by the way.
Count me in. I'm in.
You're the political party animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
What would my task be?
Schmoozin'.
Schmoozin' and boozin'.
Schmoozin'. Well, I'm halfway there.
Jeff and I are officially patriots now. We're men of political action. We're going to use our white privilege to
I'm a
help.
falcon. I'm a falcon.
Nice. Then I outrank you. I'm a patriot. Boo! I thought I'd get boos for that. I just can never predict.
Oh, Patriots like the football team.
Yeah,
I just got
Patriots,
that.
Falcons like
Essentially
the
the
football team.
same joke Jeff was doing.
Oh, you're right.
All right. What is your action committee?
Wait, no, I can't stomp that. Robert Kraft gave me that hat.
Oh.
We have to. The names you drop hit the floor like a tarantula that's eaten too much rice.
Like a
Tarantulas notoriously explode if they fall from higher than 3 feet.
They hit the ground like a Tom Brady pass in the first half. Of the
You're right.
Because it's important. We're coming into an age now. It's like, all right, there's this groundswell of political action, which is fantastic, but with that comes like anxiety about like, okay, so now how do you tell the brave souls that are right-minded, that are going to make good coordinators and whose cause is worth congealing around, from the people that are just like, get your hot dogs, get your political action here, got a T-shirt with a phrase on it, and all the money goes to our meetings, and we're going to hang out and talk about action.
Yeah. I want to tell everyone here that there is a lot to do in your local community. We see LA as like this liberal bastion, but we still, in California, incarcerate more people than any other state. We still have people being fined and arrested for being late to public school, and we still have a lot of work that we can do here.
So yours is a local. You want to focus on the local.
There's a swing district up in Palmdale that we can turn to a Democratic seat, but.
This is okay. This is singing a tune that early on in the early apocalypse, kind of like foreshadowing kind of days.
Yeah.
This was the guiding light. Although the really hard to digest one because it just takes so much work. But it's like the idea of like political parties going back to being political parties, making Democrats be like in your local neighborhood, the reason why the burnt church gets repainted, the reason why you have a blanket, the reason why whatever shit goes down, like. Even if it's a sub-faction of Democrats, before we would talk about third-party stuff, which just feels like a fucking self-defeating thing. It is a conversation, not as a solution, but just as a conversation.
There are two parties, and we have to work to...
We now know that those parties mean nothing. I mean,
Yes.
we know that those parties, because one
little.
was hacked and one almost splintered and got beaten by the hacked one. So that's actually, quote-unquote, good news, is that the bipartisan system actually got functionally... like jailbroken. And I think that can be a really good thing because it means the Democratic Party could actually be simply as the Republican one was. It's
ready
anyone's
for
throne.
replanting.
You can just and I think instead, whereas it's a primitive thing to think about, oh, where's my big strong hero leader that's gonna like represent all these things. Like if the Democrats now could rise up as the Borg cube that they are and take over the Democratic Party as a Borg cube and say, no, we're the fucking Democrats. We represent the majority. You can't beat us. We're a fucking credit union politically. Like we got experts on the ecology. We got experts on equality. Blah blah blah. We have to technically have a presidential candidate, but they're nothing. They just like they're a civil servant. We tested them like an astronaut to see if they could legalize abortion in zero gravity, and
it makes aftercare easier for the procedure.
But anyways, I'm jumping. But that sounds like a good start. I'm glad you're thinking about local stuff. That seems like a good idea. That if that could shoot spores out to other districts that are maybe technically red because of 10 people or 20, it's like, and then like take those over with action. That's just like, well, I'll be darned. These people care. They're not just playing a game of chess against a red team.
Yeah. I would make the point that the ideas that made the Democratic Party so formidable between, I'd say, 1920 and 1960 were ideas that America is still interested in. The idea of fair wages for fair work, the idea of environmental protection, the idea of strong banking laws that protect the little people. But this goes back to an idea you've always had, and when I explain it to Lyft drivers, because those poor people, I always go back
That's
to your
step
quote.
4 of the
Yeah,
plan.
step 4 is the Lyft drivers.
Talk to your Lyft driver. It works.
They are all woke. But it goes back to your idea that power corrupts not when you have it, but because you want it.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 70s, a lot of people came in after Watergate and said, all government is corrupt. We need to get rid of everyone who's been here more than 10 years. A lot of those people who got kicked out were people who fought big banks during the Great Depression. So you can overclean house. You can get rid of allies because they don't agree with you on all issues. There are some things we shouldn't collaborate on. There are some things we should stand firm on. But there's a great number of people who want to hear our message. There are a great number of people who haven't heard the message but were being amenable. And there's a great amount of people who didn't vote because they didn't care, but didn't vote because they couldn't leave work, or whose votes weren't counted, or weren't able to see themselves in the process after what's happening to them under neoliberalism. These people...
This is the first time you've ever gotten applause in 4 years of
I
our
did
show.
once in Adam versus Spencer, I think.
I think. Spencer, what is your relationship with Adam in this whole thing?
When did you guys become
as
we said, he DM'd me about this idea.
Yeah.
And now he's here.
All right.
I would have typed it out more. But I've been having carpal tunnel.
My
for
question
2
is,
weeks.
if I didn't accidentally, because I didn't know that you were here tonight, if I didn't accidentally conjure your name up, would you would have still made your way on stage tonight, wouldn't you? You would have found a way.
The dark
about
magics are powerful.
This is
I
adult
obey them
Adam.
solely.
We got to remember our podcast has been going on for like 5 years. Like Adam's like 28 now.
Yeah.
He's like
No,
he's
I've had
growing.
bursts of this, but a lot of it was me being a lowly, underemployed Hollywood person who's like, if I could get a writer's job on Community, all my problems would be solved, and I would be likable. And it wasn't the case.
Yeah. No,
Wait, that was your angle in the beginning? To be a
it
writer on
was.
Community?
you can get the top writing job at Community and go forever unlikable.
Dan,
there's no likability
why don't you just
fountain at that job.
hire him right now as head writer on Community?
Finally, I can say, yes, I am Adam F. Goldberg. I did produce it.
All right, Adam. For those of us that did smatter that applause and like that you're thinking locally and what could be more foolproof than because even if it turns out to not be the way to turn the whole world the other direction, you still as a loser will have helped the world that's real around you. So I am adding my smatter to that smatter applause.
I appreciate that.
So how do people that agree that okay, I could use some direction and something to do on Sunday or whatever? How do we find your?
If you're hardcore into wanting to organize other people, the SDS is always trying to find new members. Become a Democratic Socialist today.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a member of
That's our cheer. Hey. We got
we
it
have a
from
member
Fat
of the
Albert.
Sioux Nation back there.
And remember what color Fat Albert's sweater was?
What were you yelling about, sir or ma'am?
Part.
Oh, okay. You're just yelling about Democratic Socialism. Okay, that really what he was right. That's your cry. Okay, that's your hoo-ah.
Hey.
All right. But your organization, you're not. You have nothing to plug yet. That's
No.
Okay, fine. So we sign up to be socialists, just willy nilly.
If you Google Democratic Party or whatever party you're in your local area, you will find groups. There are Facebook groups, there are meetup groups. There's everything from picking up trash on the side of the highway to, phone banking your senators. There's the I think 11 actions. There's a movement to have something that you can do every week to help bring about the country that you want to see. Yeah, you can follow Adam Ultraberg on Twitter. Eventually, I will stop posting about the Patriots, I promise.
All right. Well,
and the jokes will be just as good as these.
All right. Well, let's quit while you're ahead. Adam Goldberg, everybody.
Adam Goldberg.
It's a whole new world, Jeff.
Oh.
We're through the looking glass, man.
Yeah, Adam Goldberg did a victory dance off the stage.
It was good.
The president's at war with Arnold Schwarzenegger's ratings, even though it's a show he runs. That's it. Pay attention to that, by the way. Bad businessman just makes bad business decisions.
Say what you want, but you gotta say that man. He's a man of faith.
Yeah, no, he's a
He
true
was
Christian
praying
hero.
for those ratings.
You know, yeah, but also, yeah, I mean, congratulations if you're a 4chaner that wanted to hack the government and get this guy elected like he's a flavor of Mountain Dew that you could make Hitler. Very funny bit, but now the guy that's going to bring about the end of net neutrality has been put in the, whatever. He's got his chairman in charge of vice assistant cyberneting, or, is some guy that just fucking hates net neutrality. What is net neutrality? I don't know. I know it's better than non-net neutrality. I know that the end of net neutrality has something to do with a world where you and I can have political opinions, and no matter how popular they would get in an open idea marketplace, they might be fucking absolutely inaccessible by virtue of the Walgreens or Netflix next door to you cybernetically that just needs more fucking data. Like you poor people will no longer be able to spread as much information as corporations, and that is a really, really slippery slope. Net neutrality. Donald Trump clearly, obviously, not a fan of it. He's not. If you asked him, he'd be like, What does that mean? Does it make my scalp smaller? Is it something I can grab, rape, beat, make fun of? Was my dad afraid of it? Will the ghost of my father mock me while he punches the ghost of my wife at the foot of my bed? Because if it doesn't fit into those slots in my gradually micro-stroking 75-year-old brain, I don't know what you're talking about. So he put some guy that knows a lot about computers in charge of all computers in the world. And so good job, 4chan. Which I think is on the internet. The place where you got together and elected this guy.
I'm worried that if he stays in office long enough, the world's tie fabric resources will be depleted. Probably in 6 months, because
his tie really goes down to the tip of his mangled dick. His assuredly mangled dick. Absolutely.
His wife won't live with him in the White House. Like it's the best house. Like, how fucking repellent and repugnant and bad in bed and disappointing of a fucking human male do you have to be for your wife to go, I don't want to live in the world's most famous house. I'd rather live in our shitty apartment building surrounded by a fucking police state. That we're paying. He's so fucked up, we have to pay for his wife not wanting to fuck him.
Jeff. I don't know. I didn't read about any of that. But so here's
apparently the taxpayer, because she wants to live at the Trump Tower. She's going to live in a golden building, and it costs the taxpayers $400,000 a day for her police detail to make her live at home, not at home, at the White House. She doesn't want to be around this fucking piece of garbage. You saw them dancing, and it was a bummer.
When he started singing "My Way,"
well, yeah, he clearly was saying things right. She was like, "Oh, please, just stop it.
Just." She's just saying to herself, just get through whatever contractual period I'm confined to.
I as Church said, my gal, she's like, he didn't expect to win. She thought they were going to lose and she would divorce him. Now she's stuck with this piece of shit.
Well, this is his third wife, right? Third,
at least,
right?
That we know about.
Third. Wasn't the second? The first one was an American model, right?
Marla Maples. Right?
Wasn't there a second middle one that was? And she was sort of I don't want to use this term disparagingly to somebody that I really don't know, or if this is an offensive term, but she was essentially a mail order bride, right? Like she was she was also a Russian model, or what was
Ivana Trump first, then Marla. Yeah.
Wait. Was it, so wait. So who's the? I get confused because so this is his third wife, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is his third wife. It's his second non-American wife, and I'm not going where you think I'm going. I'm not like Alex Jones going no, wait a minute. I just mean I'm just talking sexually. I'm talking about psychosexual politics. I'm talking about okay, so first you have a woman from your own country that it just was born within the same sort of, glass ceilings aside, the same sort of sandbox you were in with the same rules and things. then she's gone. She's out of there. Then, like Howard Hughes in The Aviator, it's like, Katharine Hepburn takes a hike, and then you cut to the airplane hangar scene where Howard Hughes is like bringing underage girls in and going like, stop right there, 300 meters away. You understand you'll be an employee contracted to me and you'll do what I say. Okay, turn around. All right, wipe that lipstick off and stuff. You know that scene in The Aviator? Come on, it's your favorite movie, right? You've watched it 75 times because you have some perverse fantasy of being America's most famous mentally ill entrepreneur. Because it reminds you of yourself. And so I was like what?
That's how we found Spencer.
But so you have that scene, like, and maybe ladies cover your ears. I don't know what's going to offend you here, but when
I would say don't. I would say hit record.
When I say cover your ears, I just mean like don't judge. Like I for a second, if you will, if I be candid for a second, like. Guys do like we go through ups and downs, and we do like when we get our hearts broken, I think there is a tendency we have these like things we do, especially when we're young and we're still learning how to interact with people. We go like we swing the other way, like from whatever previous relationship, like we think we're going to fix things. And I'm sure this is not totally exclusive to men, but I'm just talking to the guys because guys are kind of inherently, we're misogynistic. We're we love /fear /worship /hate, despise this other creature that has so much power over us that we don't understand. We just want them to like us. Blah blah blah. It makes us behave in all these fucked up ways. We've been socialized not to share those feelings, cope with them, connect those to the feelings that are also fucked up with the other person, and achieve that. You don't start learning that stuff until you're 44 and rich and already divorced and are like finally opening the hood a little more than 2 inches on the fucked up car that is your life.
So you're keeping this very general for all men.
Yeah. This is stuff you need time and money and the inclination to examine, and I don't blame your average 40-year-old guy that has a lot more work to do for not getting there. This is a tangent. I'm just saying, here's what I'm saying in the crassest terms. I'm like, if your first wife was was an American model, and then your second wife was a Russian model, and then your third wife was a Russian model, here's what I'm assuming about the third marriage. There's preconditions up the fucking darkest yin-yang imaginable. Because there's no other difference. He didn't go to French model. He didn't go to Japanese model. He was like, I like me those Eastern Bloc women, and here's another one. I'm guaranteeing you there's some fucked up differences at the outset of that relationship that result in that face that she's making that broke your heart because you said reminded you of what you do at the Apple store.
Right.
Spencer said that's the face of a customer service rep.
Right. So you do you're smiling and they turn around and you're like. Then you're just back to hating everything.
She's a hostage. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's sad.
I mean, benefit of the doubt. I'm hoping that she doesn't want to live with Donald Trump because he's a gross, perverted asshole, and she wants to take care of Barron. Like maybe he needs special care or whatever, and she doesn't want anything
kids
to
are
do.
off limits.
Huh?
No.
Maybe she's an awesome mom who doesn't want to be involved in that circus. I'm hoping that that's the case. But one thing's for certain, she doesn't want to be around him. And now we have to foot the goddamn bill.
And we have to be around him.
I know.
It's like we're the most victimized neighbor in the world to that fucked up relationship. Like the caretaker at the Overlook Hotel had it better. Scatman Crothers, Dan. He had a name. Okay. So here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Capitalist. What do you call it? What do you call it? Activism. Consumer activism. All right. So Uber, the people spoke with their money.
And then he quit.
And then he pulled out of the thing that was egregiously like, oh, I love Trump. And I think maybe issued a statement that kind of disavowed the
He said, I didn't want this to be about politics. I just wanted to be about being part of the thing. And it hurt his bottom line, and he fucked straight off.
So the question is, I'm having a disagreement with Cody about this, because she's like, oh, you can reinstall Uber now. And I was like, wait, fuck him, no. Off with his head. Like, he'll be fine anyway. Like, let him just drive all Republicans around. And I'll see you at the finish line.
He was already a prick before
But she's
this.
got a point too, though. If we actually want to, if it's about, it's not just about swatting, and I don't know. It's like a very interesting argument. Just like, oh, you can take an Uber now because he got hit and acknowledged he got hit publicly and kowtowed to the will of the people. What you don't want to do is continue to just grind his face into the dirt.
Did he? I mean, like, I don't want to say things and be fake news about this, but like, hasn't there already been like a lot of like mistreatment of his workers?
I would say that we should have stopped using Uber well before this.
Because there's loads of sexual assault charges.
Right.
His workers are really ill-treated.
You guys really high-roaded me.
Well, no,
Like,
I mean, I'm a big Lyft guy, though, because I just like being able to tip because I'm just like, now I can give them however many stars I want.
Yeah.
Because I'm paying
Here's
for
the
it.
weird thing about Lyft, though, now that I've switched, and I'm not going to go back. I've learned to cope with Lyft, and it's not as bad as it was when I stopped using it.
Yeah.
But it's like the form, I'm never gonna give you less than 5 stars unless you like run over my dog or something. But if you give less than 5 stars, if you press less than 5 stars before you submit, it says how can Rashida improve? But if you give 5 stars, as tonight, Rashida drove me here in a Lyft, and then you give 5 stars, and it says like, what did you love about Rashida?
I've never had that feedback thing. Like
it's right there. I mean, do you not?
No, I've only given less than 5 stars maybe 2 or 3 times ever, and I take Lyft all the time.
No, but I'm saying when you give 5 stars, the question changes from what would you improve to what did you love.
I'm saying I've never gotten that feedback loop thing where they've never asked me, tell me why you gave 5 stars or tell me why you didn't. I've never seen that.
They probably don't care about his thoughts.
Your app, motherfucker.
No, it sounds like I don't.
Why do I want to
they
sign up
added
for the social anxiety feature? Because my point is like, what do you type? Does anybody ever type anything? Like I was flirting with ironic things like the stars in his eyes or but I don't want to confuse people.
I've never been asked to weigh in on why. I've only said that you get to rate them and that's the end of the transaction.
All right. Well, to tell you the truth, I thought that was going to be a half hour of the show, was talking about that, but now we're fucked. It appears that's a dead
Is there a
end.
Thomas C. Howell here? I have your credit card.
Thomas C. Howell? The actor?
I have a load of credit cards up here that people have dropped.
I think he's been killed by Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer. God damn it, Harmon. Fucking get your shit together.
See, I can never keep track of whether you are with the Apple Watch or against the Apple Watch.
Well, I'm trying it again tonight. Because I had so few notes, I thought, well, I'll just put them on my watch instead. I'm like, will you fucking, God damn it.
You wear your Apple Watch like Rip Taylor decides to wear his toupee. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's like a hat you decide to wear sometimes.
Talk to each other. What? Woo! I can't.
3PO. Where could he be? Where could he be?
So that brings us to Technology Corner. You have the theme?
Technology Corner.
Yow.
Steve Levy appeared like a fucking wraith. That scared the absolute shit out of me. What do you want with Steve Levy? You say it in the mic.
I can't say it in the mic.
You can't say it in the mic? Say it in the mic.
Rob Schraub is here.
Oh, shit.
Rob Schraub theme.
Rob Schraub.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rob Schraub. Rob Schraub. Rob Schraub.
All right,
Rob
fantastic.
Schraub. Making a...
Thanks for coming. I feel like I invited you.
Did you? You guys were really, because you did do that, didn't you?
I feel like it, yeah.
Oh no, okay.
You feel like what?
I invited you here.
Yeah.
Because there's no guest tonight, and then those guys both, they came in the green room, and I was like, it's fine, there's no guest. It's good there's no guest. And then these guys came in one by one, and everybody, Levy, Jeff, Spencer, were like, anyone? Is there any guest? And I was like, nah. And then they each kept going like, did you try Dino? Did you try like all this stuff? I was like, Jesus Christ, you guys, I'm sorry.
I don't think I said that.
Yeah, just little old me. But then you showed up like a miracle.
I like no guests. I think some of our best shows.
I can leave.
I drove by Schraub today while he was walking his dog, and then we texted back and forth, and then it culminated in me just saying he should come on the show.
If you were in like earshot of me walking my dog, you could have heard me Siri going, text Dungeon Master. What do you want to say to Dungeon Master? I love you.
It's true. That's what he
you have
said.
Spencer's name saved as Dungeon Master?
Yes.
What?
I got Derek Mears as Jason Voorhees. I got Jack Black as Jack Austin. I mean, it's kind of like the ultimate phone. It really is the ultimate phone.
I'm jealous that you've been hanging out with Matt Berry this whole time, and with that.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't hang out the whole week. Just that one night.
Because Toast of London is the goddamn funniest TV show of all
Pretty
time.
funny.
If you don't know it, Toast of
Check it
motherfucking
out.
London.
Check it out. It's
Holy
pretty
smoke,
funny.
that's funny.
Well, okay, so that's what's been going on. You're hanging out with Matt Berry.
Yeah.
You're not bringing him by here
Well, he left yesterday
because
of something I said.
because of
I
my
said
show.
No.
Well, if I stay longer, I'll have to be on his podcast.
Yeah. No, he was.
I want to go back to London.
No, he was in Eureka for a month shooting a movie with Aubrey Plaza, and now is just came here for a week to hang out. I only saw him one day.
Did you get these yet? Oh, that's not.
Well, wait, what was that? I'm curious
That
about
was
that.
an iPhone charge
Are they
lock.
pills?
Did you get these yet?
Are they?
Oh.
What are they?
Airbuds. Airbuds, is that what they're called?
Airbuds.
Airbuds are the dog that plays basketball.
Yeah.
They're called Airbuds?
Thank God they got rid of the wires.
Because now you only look like a complete douchebag.
He can't hear us. He's
I-
lost in the groove.
I love music, but I would rather never hear music again than be caught wearing those fucking things.
Carry on my wayward son.
There's just
What
so
keeps-
much that wires offer in headphones.
What
Here's
keeps them from falling out of
No.
your ear holes?
Well, the same thing that always did. Your ears.
Yeah,
They're
but now
wedged in your ears.
But
They
if-
never
if-
fell out.
if-
They haven't fallen out since 2010. They changed the shape. They wedge in their ears like little arrowheads.
But if you
Yeah.
drop one, you're out a whole goddamn thing, right?
I don't wear those because I lost so much hearing because of those. The older ones.
We'll get to that in a second. Wait, there was the only thing I don't like about these, I thought I was comfortable with like Ray Kurzweil's singularity. You know, like I'm ready to become part of the computer world. But then these things, they know when they're in your ear, and I was like, I'm out. Nope. When you put them in, they go funk. They make that like that activation sound of like a Bluetooth device.
yeah,
They
I
go
don't like
funk.
that.
I'm like, why do you know you're in my ear? What are you measuring? Light? Wax? Spider eggs?
Yeah, but I was like, why don't they go whoom when you put them in your pocket? Like why?
But maybe they do. We can't hear them.
And they're just listening to your balls the whole day long.
They listen? I thought they're supposed to put sound in your balls.
That's what they want you to think with the whole time.
Well, I don't know. Jury's out on them. I think
They
they're
got
kind
little
of cool.
cups.
Can you talk into them?
You know, I don't know. Do they have
There's a
mics
bunch
on
of sperm in there.
I've done phone calls with them, but I don't know where my sound is going.
Steve wanted to know.
I think these are
or-
microphones down on the end.
That's cool. Steve said that like there is some new data about the new iPhone that's coming out.
Who's that cool guy with the white things hanging out of his ears? Is that George Michael? Wow. Too soon? I know. Yeah, hey, I like...
soon.
We know
You
it's
brought me
not.
up too soon for me. I'm George Michael. You brought me up too soon.
I brought you up before you go.
See, that trivializes his death.
It's called paying tribute. I love George Michael. And he was a huge philanthropist, and he was an awesome dude.
I paid tribute. You mocked his death. You Yankovic to one of his songs and incorporated his death into one of his songs. There's a difference. It's like those SNL Weekend Update jokes where they'd be like, the creator of the Oreo died on Wednesday, and his casket was buried between 2 slices of chocolate casket. And it's like, yeah, you've done this before.
That's
the joke is someone died, you horrible ghouls. But kids are off limit. What have you been up to?
I'm just hanging out. Get some errands done. I've been putting off some errands over the last couple of years. Have a shelf I wanted to put up. Got to put it up. Kate couldn't do it by herself. That shelf. This is a 2-person job. Can't hold up one side of the shelf and the other side of the shelf. One person.
Who did you have do it with you? Matt Berry?
My wife.
Oh, okay.
I said Kate. Put up a shelf.
Well, I can
organized all my cables by color.
Whoa, it was a huge fucking cockroach. It was the craziest, biggest cockroach. Cockroach the size of Ted Danson.
A Ted Danson-sized cockroach?
2 stars of Creepshow.
A cockroach the size of Malin Ackerman. I saw her name in the Super Bowl. I was trying to fill my iCloud of references up with new shit. I got those ear pods.
Wait, I can't see it. Now, there's a Ted Danson-sized cockroach.
It's under you. It's under you.
Is he going to open up a bar after his failed baseball career?
Don't worry about it. It's one of those.
Don't worry about it.
What's a It's not
one of those.
do
It's one of those
anything.
LA cockroaches that's like basically just a beetle. It's like not really a cockroach.
Yeah,
it's like a
they don't do
outdoor
anything
beetle.
except be gross.
Yeah. It's like a horseshoe crab, like a prehistoric horseshoe crab.
That made it better.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Technology corner. We did it with the ear pods. Okay, fine. So, and also
Be careful with those.
I'm going to add this to the technology corner. This comes to us from our people at Joe Rogan's desk. A friend of mine heard on Joe Rogan's podcast that someone suggested there's a setting in your iPhone you can change all of the color to black and white. You can remove all the color from your phone's display. It spikes your dopamine a little bit less, makes it easier to put your phone down.
Oh, what is the
life
code?
hacks?
What's the
ways to make your phone less crucial to your life psychologically?
What do you do? Do you tap it with 4 fingers 5 times?
What's the
no,
code?
there's no shortcut that I know of. It's it's horrendously hidden in a bunch of
It's in accessibility, I'm sure,
features,
right?
and then it's still from there. You're like 9 menus deep, but you'll find it. You'll be fine. And it also whatever. I did it for a while, and then it was
but how am I going to play Bubble Witch if I can't tell which color the bubbles are?
And how will you know about her delicious crimson locks?
Oh, did you get into Bubble Witch?
No, you showed it to me.
Dan asked me what game I was getting into. I showed him Bubble Witch, and it's a redhead in tights who's blowing up bubbles.
Yeah, come on.
I just got my kitty fountain updated.
Nice. Rob,
awesome.
How's your health? Your physical health? You're somewhat notorious for your compulsive scrubbing of your butthole, scalding of it. You had a parasite in your stomach at one point.
Yes.
When was the last time you scalded your butthole, Rob? Is that?
It's been a couple of years.
That's a thing of the past now.
Yeah, it's a thing of the past.
Okay.
I've moved on. I'm good.
You look thin as hell. You look like Triple Jim Schraub back from the day.
I got a trainer again.
Oh yeah, because we used to call him Triple Jimmer because he would go to the gym 3 times a day.
I was seriously crazy.
Well, you're acting like he's just recently gone through some fat phase. He's Schraub. She's always been.
No. He looks leaner and meaner than.
I got a trainer. He's like this. I believe he's like this 28-year-old kid who just came from Texas or whatever. And he beats the shit out of me. He just beats the shit out of me.
And then you guys go work
easy.
out?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I wake up every morning 5 o'clock. I give him a nudge. And he beats the shit out of me.
And then you go do CrossFit.
We go cross train.
Do you know who he voted for?
No, I don't. I don't have that conversation. I've learned on how to have that conversation.
What's been going on with you and your political part of your brain? How are you handling this?
I don't like it. I'm upset. I'm really upset.
But But mostly you're just into animal rights. I see on the
Yes.
Twitter. You're like,
Yeah.
everybody else is like, the judicial branch can't be dissolved. Then we won't have checks and balances. And you're like, this Shih Tzu needs help.
I
I'm not
became a
bagging on
hardcore
it.
animal rights activist and full-on vegan, like straight up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. Super popular with people.
I think, yeah. No, it is. It will be. Again.
Is Kate a vegan too, or she?
She's vegetarian, but not vegan.
Yeah.
All right.
Earbuds,
Earbuds, black and white phone, lift. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. We're out of show.
Wait, well, I want Rob to keep doing what he was doing.
Yeah, let
thought he
him
was
go.
timing
Keep going
me.
then.
What is it? Levy's like, you want me to tell people I bought a gun? We could talk about.
You bought a gun? You bought a gun.
We could talk about.
Why did you buy a gun? Because you secretly want to kill somebody.
It's the only reason
Because
to buy
I
a gun.
secretly know that in the event that
You're
that
hoping for that event to happen so you could kill something.
that's not true.
You're a
at all.
secret Charles Bronson.
You
No.
secretly
I've discussed this with my
hope-
therapist, and I have a right to buy a gun. She said, as long as it's not for you, and it's not for anyone in the immediate future.
Well, it never starts out like that.
No.
But in all fairness, Dan's therapist is Sam Peckinpah.
Hey guys, it's Spencer. I'm here to talk to you about HelloFresh. HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking fun, easy, and convenient. HelloFresh wants to change the way people eat forever. And that's why they sent me this little guy here, Spizwad the Gnome. Hey Spizwad, say hi. Hey guys, it's me, Spizwad, the healthy food gnome. I love to celebrate fresh ingredients and make magic in the kitchen because I know there's a chef in everyone. That's right, Spizwad. Was that your name? Spizwad, yes. I feel like I might have said something else. Nope. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions designed to take around 30 minutes for everyone, from novices to seasoned home cooks, short on time. That's right. HelloFresh sources the freshest ingredients measured to the exact quantities needed, so there's no food waste. Food waste is a real problem in Gnome Land. That's not what you call it. That's really tacky. Don't insult my home. Did you know that they employ a full-time registered dietitian who reviews each recipe to ensure it's nutritionally balanced? Yes, I did. Do they deliver to Gnome Land? Because, HelloFresh delivers to your doorstep in a special insulated box for free. Yeah, even to Gnome Land. Well, all right. So I gotta ask you, what's your favorite meal from HelloFresh? I don't know. The lean mean chicken and greens with rosemary potatoes and gremolata is pretty sweet, and it makes me feel good that I can make it myself. What about the meatloaf balsamico with mashed sweet potato and green beans? Yeah, no, I like that too. Or the Turkish spice salmon with blood orange and couscous pilaf? Yeah, no, I like that one. Or the penne with kick and a pancetta tomato arrabbiata sauce? Yeah, no, I mean, really, you could... Or one-pot Italian wedding soup with pork meatballs and kale? Yeah, no, all of those have been really good. I found myself having fun cooking them. Yes, and that's what HelloFresh promises to all users. It doesn't take magic to figure out how easy it is to cook healthy meals for your family with HelloFresh. That's right, and right now listeners can get 35 off their first week of deliveries just by visiting HelloFresh.com and entering the promo code Harmontown35 when you subscribe. That's $35 off. That's more than half off the list price of your first week of deliveries, just by entering the promo code Harmontown35 at HelloFresh.com. HelloFresh.com! It's magically... No, don't. That's someone else's line. HelloFresh.com! It's terribly good! Well, that's kind of negative. Don't tell me how to do my job. I'm 400 years old, Sonny. HelloFresh currently offers customers a classic box or a veggie box. That's right, and they'll be launching a family box soon. Customers can order 3, 4, or 5 different meals per week, designed for either 2 or 4 people. And new recipes are created every week, and every week you can pick your own recipes. For $35 off your first week of deliveries, visit HelloFresh.com and enter Harmontown35 when you subscribe. Harmontown35 when you subscribe! Harmontown35 when you subscribe at HelloFresh.com.
we landed. We didn't talk about this because in between San Francisco, which was our last show, and now we flew in from San Francisco to LAX, and it was like the airport was deserted because the protests had just started, and we spent like 5.5 hours. Jeff was there longer. Church showed up to take pictures, but we were just there in the midst of this historical thing. I'd never been at a protest. I thought it was like. I mean, it was amazing. I hate to sound like some weird tourist, but that's literally what we were. We had luggage, and Jeff had his Vivienne Westwood suits over his shoulder, and his newsy cap, and his fancy jacket, and he kept like he was able to just go up to the cops and find out what's going on, like hey, what's going on? And they're like, just protecting people's right to free speech, you know. It was a very
There was a moment after you guys left. We had an agreement with the police that we were like, when we got there, we were blocking all of the traffic. When we got to probably 6 hours after it started, we got there like around 5 or 6 o'clock. It had been going on all day, and we were blocking everything. And then finally, the police came in giant force. All these cops came, and if you follow Church on like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, she's amazing photos of it. All these cops came, and. Then the
cops came from the direction that we weren't facing, so you can very quickly go from texting, tweeting about how you're at a protest and you're so cool because you're at a protest. They're like, looks like people are protesting and they're chanting, and here I am. I'm just 60 minutes back here. I'm just and then there's lights flashing because it's a concourse, and then everyone turns around, and you're like, everyone's facing my direction now. Okay, phone away, and just staring at riot shields like 6 feet away, and then doing a double take and realizing the guy next to me is wearing a football helmet and homemade. I took a picture with him and tweeted it, but it was like I did a double take on that guy, and it was like, hey, hi, and he's like, hey, I love Rick and Morty. And it was just like, holy fuck.
That guy with the homemade gas mask and the whole thing was a Rick and Morty fan?
Yeah, there were a lot of Rick
Why
and Morty
was
fans.
it homemade? Why has he got a homemade?
Well, it was a football helmet.
He had like a lacrosse helmet on with a like a Home
And he
Depot.
had a riot shield?
Like sawdust
No.
mask.
He had a gas mask, like a kind of a. It was a mask. I think you get at Home Depot for painting. I think if you work in like.
These
painting.
are our police.
No, this was another guy that was protesting. Next
Why
to
has he
me.
got a thing on his face?
He's anticipating activity that may involve him breathing tear gas or getting hit with a baton.
How did you understand that he complimented you if he had a gas mask on?
That was my joke. It was very muffled. I love Rick and Morty.
So he didn't say it.
He did. It's a popular show.
He might have said.
I'm not saying it is.
He might have said it's 7:40.
Most of the people were like, "Where's season 3?" I was like, "Get back to protecting democracy for." It was insane. I was like, that was the only thing that calmed me is that these kids are fucking like really into my cartoon. Like I'm like I don't know how to tell them. My heart is pounding in my chest. I'm relocating my phone to different pockets. I'm like, I think there's a bottle cap down here. Could that cut my arterial arteries, which are the best kind of arteries? The classic arterial artery. It says the new arterial artery. It's arterial. All right. Don't use a venal artery.
You were looking for a bottle cap in your pocket?
I was like struggling. I'm freaking out because I'm thinking I'm going to get arrested for the first time. I'm going to get manhandled by people that aren't my family for the first time. I'm gonna get like pepper sprayed. I've had to pee for 4 hours. I'm going straight to BuzzFeed or something. I was like, I'm gonna have piss down my leg as I'm like loaded like a Lincoln log into a paddy wagon. But the other kids were just like, when's season 3 coming out? Like, so I was like, well, I don't think they're very
When
scared.
is season 3 coming out? I mean, you gotta have a date and time.
I think it's time for the season 3 Rick and Morty update wrap.
Here, you want to wrap? Hang on a second. Give me a second.
How have you been, Dan?
Talk about things.
How have you been, Dan? I haven't seen you in a while.
I've been good. What's going on?
They're drawing it. They're drawing it.
They're drawing it.
Here's how cartoons work.
First you write them.
Then you draw them. For a really long time.
Everything needs to be on paper.
So you can see it.
So if all I do is write it and then put it on TV,
it'll look like a script.
instead of Rick and Morty, which you seem to like.
So, when you ask me where it is, the answer is...
They're drawing it.
And when you tell me to stop being political and get back to drawing it...
I don't draw it. I know it looks like I do. That's called style. Those artists are still actually talented and went to school. If I literally drew it, the show wouldn't exist. It would be, it would just be Pacman fighting Garfield. Those are the only things I know how to draw. They would be illegal, unlike our blatant Back to the Future ripoff.
They're drawing it. And they'll be drawing it until they're done drawing it, and then...
Adult Swim will choose when to air it. Not me, because I don't own a network. It's called TV. The T is for television. V is for very much not my decision. When to air things. Because remember how you learned who I am? I'm the guy who writes and produces things that end up
not on TV a lot because I don't control whether things are on TV or not. If I did, we'd be in season 9 of Community, and it would be 48 episodes a year, and there would also just be shows about me taking a shit.
I would be at every show. I would, because I'm gonna stop when you say stop. I'm gonna fuck your mama like the head of a mop. A hip hop to the hip hop, a hop.
One day Superman came down.
He said,
I'm Superman, so comparatively you're a clown.
I said, ha 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 ha. Superman got his woofers and tweeters out. I said, motherfucker, democracy is gonna shout with your titties out. A roundabout. I got the gout.
Superman ate too much rich food. Heavy creams and sauces. He thought he was impervious to them because he's Superman. A lot of people don't know. Totally normal internal digestive system. He can succumb to things like gout. A lot of people say gout is Superman's kryptonite.
From a strictly dietary standpoint. However, gout can never actually kill him. He can, because he's
Shroud's on his phone. He's fucking checked out.
Anyways,
they're drawing it.
They're drawing it. And while they're drawing it, I'm making a million things, and they take a long time to make. And Spencer's fucking killing it on Harmon Quest Season 2. Straight up, like I if I thought for a second that it was like there was a little bit of it that was going to be bad, I wouldn't set him up by saying that. It was like totally his show. He's like running it. I showed up. I played D&D, and he's fucking like him and his huge team of awesome people that worked on Season 1. I saw that. It's just I'm so excited about Harmon Quest. I'm not saying there's nothing. Don't let that show up in an article where it's like, here's why Rick and Morty's late. Dan's excited about Harmon Quest. It's not related. They're drawing it. They have to draw the things. I will say and did say the reason it was late, the reason they got a late start drawing it is because I am fucking slow and shitty and unpredictable as a writer. the buck stops here with that. I'm done with that part. You can't now tell me to go faster. It doesn't make any sense. I confessed to my crimes after it was too late to make me change.
You're yelling at the audience. You're yelling at them.
Anyways, it's 9/11 probably.
Is it 9/11?
It looks like 9/10.
Moment of silence for the Bowling Green massacre victims.
Oh my God.
I've heard that
are you
Frederick
booing my
Douglass
mainstream
didn't do
political
enough.
jokes or?
I could have stopped it.
Do you have any actual political jokes? Let's do a Dan Harmon joke corner where you tell a joke. Doesn't have to be political, like any just proper joke, like a bard.
Oh, well, I thought it was a political joke.
Oh, if you've got one, yeah, lay it on us.
All right, so Kellyanne Conway walks into a chamber.
Yeah, that's how all good jokes start.
And
chamber.
And there's a vortex in it. And
a door to the south.
and there's other people in there, and she wants to save them because they're Nazis or something, and so she says, "I'll tell you what, you guys run, and I'll put the vortex where my soul should be." And they say, "But how will you keep your physical form from desiccating in this like really on the nose evil way? Like you how will you keep yourself from looking like an over the top sorceress? Like as if there's like weird like permanent mascara tears going down the lines where your veins supply blood to your eyeballs from a heart that may just be a black rock that glows and pulses rather than beating." And she's like, "I don't know, I'll just deal with it." And they run, all the Nazis run, and they're like, "Yay, we're free, we made it out of that chamber where there was a vortex." And then she's like, "I made it too." And they're like, "But you..."
By the way, if you guys have heard this, you can stop him at any time.
No, but I don't have any political jokes.
I didn't mean to stop you.
It's really hard not to make fun of Kellyanne Conway's appearance but it's like one of those weird.
She looks like the lead singer of Hanoi Rocks.
It's a catch-22 because you're like,
Look
you
it
know
up.
what? Part of this is you want to be woke, you want to be on the right team. It's like we want to live in a.
Right.
It's like you're using tools that the enemy
the
uses.
president-
To just go like, oh, she's an ugly woman. Like well, that's not really the point. It's just more like she looks evil.
Yeah. No, the president of the United States, is fat and feminine, everything possible, shamed everybody. We're allowed to say he has a giant ass, and she looks like the lead singer of Hanoi Rocks.
Yeah. But you can hear it's not going over well.
Because they don't know. Just look up the lead singer of Hanoi Rocks.
All right. It's like Picture Pages. Like, there's supplemental material to our entertainment. There was this thing called Picture Pages starring a man that turned out to be a famous rapist.
He was so famous for rape.
Well, he is. I'm saying he ended up ended up more famous for that than pudding.
Yeah.
You got to admit.
Yeah.
He's the second least powerful rapist in America right now.
Who's the least
I don't know
powerful
what
rapist in America?
No, second most, I meant.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Let's check in with Spencer to see what's going on in China.
Hey, guys. I got these pickles. We can't carry on.
Why did you bring pickles?
They're great.
Where'd you get the pickles?
From Artisan Cheese Gallery.
Oh.
Spencer's into pickles
Studio.
now.
Hey, go to Baller Hardware. They sell pickles at the hardware store.
No, they don't.
I know. They sell pickles at the hardware store. And I
Right.
went, "Why are you selling pickles at the hardware store?" And they said, "Because they're fucking good, man." And I
Baller
went,
Hardware?
"Let me try some of these pickles." And I finished the jar. They're good, man.
That sounds great.
You got to get these pickles, man.
Are they their own brand of pickles, the hardware store people?
No.
They're just name brand pickles, and they stock.
No, they're not name brand. I guess they're made in Silver Lake by a friend of the guy who owns the hardware store.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I can go get some keys made, buy some light bulbs.
Get some pickles.
Get some pickles.
Get some pickles.
This sounds like one-stop shopping.
And leave. Yeah, they got the small baby pickles, and then they got the larger ones too.
So you really are.
I get one of each.
Spencer, can I try one of your pickles?
Yeah, they're in the back. I bet Steve could bring them out.
Can you bring out these pickles?
Steve, would you bring out the goddamn pickles?
You really are getting into home improvement, which is funny because when I got fired from Community,
Thanks,
I kind of
Steve.
I started hanging shelves and shit. It was like some weird impulse. And you are we allowed to talk about the fact that?
Well, it's all over the place
Well,
if I know what you're talking about.
Your relationship with Lego has reached a conclusion, and,
Yes.
and now you're putting up shelves. Just that's what I did after
Yes,
Community.
I had a lot of errands that I've been putting off, and I had to leave Lego to put up some shelves. Do my laundry. What do we got here?
There's ones that are peppers and ones that are pickles.
Oh, these are fucking delicious.
Right. They're so good.
Did you just eat a pepper or a pickle?
I think that was a pickle one he grabbed.
Give me some of them. Give me
That's a pickle. It's like almost like a bread and butter pickle.
It's the only thing that's a
Hand
sweet
me
pickle
some of
that
them
I'll
pickles.
enjoy.
I mean, I would put that on a sandwich, or I just eat them.
Oh.
Right, you just eat them straight. They're
Eat
great.
them out of the fucking
I want
jar.
to eat some of these pickles.
All right. Is there anyone in the audience?
They're spicy too.
Yeah, they're spicy
I
too.
want to eat some pickles.
Get a pickle.
People
I'm
paid
gonna
$10
get-
for this show.
Oh my god.
Paid $10.
Now,
Waited in line.
But right now, if you are a new subscriber to the live stream, your subscription fee goes to the ACLU.
We match your donation. We don't
Yeah.
we don't send
We're gonna
your
match-
money to the ACLU.
We're gonna match your donation.
I guess that's a legal thing. Like we don't we match it.
Yeah,
Meaning,
if you subscribe now to the live feed, we're going to match all of your money until the march when we find out that Donald Trump is a bad person on the tax march. But we haven't found out if he's a bad person yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna hope to find that out one day.
Is there anybody in the audience that, and since it's been kind of a sausage tea party up here,
named Thomas C. Howell?
I would go with a ladies first rule, but I'm more curious. Is there anybody in the audience who's kind of a veteran protester, somebody who's been at like more than like 5 protests? Nobody. Wow. We're
4 protests.
Well, that's important to know too. Like we're all. I mean, you guys are like me. Like we don't. We've entered new times where like.
Lower the number.
What about a woman that was women here that were at the women's march?
Oh, you're just coming up. You didn't raise your hand, but you're. Okay, no, it's fine. And you definitely. I don't. Yeah, you look like a protester. Come on up.
Hey,
yeah.
man.
What's your name? I'm Harry. Harry. Okay, it's Harry. Everybody.
Hey, everyone.
Do you want a pickle?
No, I
vodka?
actually really don't like pickles. I will take a
You'll
vodka,
love
though.
these pickles.
These pickles are pretty
Pickles
good,
are
man.
like cats. Everyone thinks I'll love their cat. Everyone thinks I'll love their pickles.
Well, everyone's cats are bad, but these pickles are good.
So, Harry,
these pickles are off the fucking deep end,
Yes,
Harry.
Dan.
Like, treat yourself to one of these pickles.
I'm gonna stick with no pickles.
Harry,
Take the pickle.
I'm protesting these
protester.
pickles.
Don't
protesting
fucking make
the
drink,
damn pickles.
Drink that dill juice, Harry. Harry, drink that dill juice. Harry, come on, you fucking pussy. Drink that dill juice, man.
No, I mean I'm definitely scared to drink that.
No, drink it. Drink that dill
That
juice.
dill juice.
Fucking Harry, drink it. Fucking pussy, man. Harry's not drinking the dill juice. Drink that dill juice.
No.
All right. On the
All right,
graph,
Harry, you don't-
the amount of laughs toward time spent on this bit, like it's we peaked, and now we're gonna ride downhill into the next segment. Harry.
Yes.
So it was my first protest. I had to be flown into
I was
it.
also there.
Were you there at the LAX?
Yeah.
When we shut that shit down, arrivals and departures.
But I was
for 5
also
minutes?
there like days prior and after.
Fuck
because
you, high
people.
road
No. This isn't for use for them. You got off on an airplane.
I know, I was flown in with luggage.
No, people like.
I was like, hell no, we won't go. Not until my dog sitter is off duty.
I don't know if it's because like some get more traction than others on social media, but people seem to like arbitrarily choose when to go to things that are like consistent. Like the
Yeah, like
Women's
on
March was like
weekends.
a set thing that happened at a time on a day. LAX was like, we kind of need you here always because there's planes keep coming in and people keep being detained. And like, if you're trying to be there to just be like a physical body of support, like that's always needed until this shit changes.
And so, and well, I'm gonna skip over a topic that'll make me babble for too long and put my foot in my mouth, which is, but to hold the pin, I want to get back to this topic after the next one, which is. I think white people need to go to protests more than other people. White people sitting at their keyboard at home are doing 3 times as much by not doing anything because it's because society is unfair. It's because of all. I said I wouldn't talk about it, but put a pin in that. White people need to go to more protests.
Put a pin in it, Harry.
And move that pin in accordance with the LAPD's wishes every 5 minutes. That's my next topic. So when I was at
and they
LAX,
eat a fucking pickle.
What is obviously the LAPD has more experience than any protester out there as an organization. Maybe not the actual cool cucumbers, the very ethnically diverse cool cucumbers they put out on the front lines. As human beings, I gotta say, the first thing that hits your mind as a first-time protester being there was like. I love these protesters and I love the LAPD. It was like this weird thing, but then throughout the evening, by the time I got home, I was like, oh, we got played. It's like oh, peaceful protest. Everyone was so proud of how peaceful the protest was. Well, the protest was peaceful because the protest was run by the LAPD. Yeah. And every time somebody started chanting "fuck the police," everybody would go like, "Peaceful protest, peaceful protest." We wouldn't want anyone to get arrested, tear gassed, all these things, but. It's really tough because basically the protesters ended up making a deal with the LAPD. They were in constant contact with them, which I thought was a glorious thing. There is a positivity to that, right? There is a positive message that sends, especially when the cops aren't the ones holding the detainees. I know you're going like, Dan, what is your question? No. But the LAPD isn't in charge of the detainees, they're working with them, cooperating with them. It actually does provide these spine-tingling opportunities to be like, hey, maybe you guys should be over here too. You are all like a rainbow of people descended from whose family tree goes up 2 feet without an immigrant in it. You're just wearing riot gear because that's your job. Like, get over here. And it's like there's some moments where it was like they might do it.
I saw an airport cop, technically not LAPD. I forget the exact distinctions there. But he cried when one of the detainees got released, and then I called him on it, and he quickly got really macho about it and wiped his tears off.
Jeff's girlfriend took some great pictures of Church. She could just be Church. It doesn't have to be Jeff's girlfriend. What a fucking horrible society this is.
She loves pickles.
She got there too late in the game to if she had been there. She's an amazing photographer. Nothing makes you realize more than photos, like how the history that we're living, and you see it because it looks like Time Magazine.
Let's bring Church up. She's sitting right here.
Okay.
Church, Cassandra Church.
Just the pictures. Hello. The pictures that you took of that young lady who had she had decided to focus her emotional energy on one cop as if that itself were a weapon, quote unquote weapon. It's not destructive. That was probably both a tactic and a very sincere thing because she was unmistakably sincere. And the cop, you said, well, you describe it.
Well, it was when I first got there. And as you say, they were in the street for a little while and then bringing people back up onto the sidewalk. And at this point, this is when all the police started pushing everybody back up onto the sidewalk. And this one particular girl caught my eye because as a photographer, I pushed my way to the front to try to get a view of everyone facing the police. And this one girl was just glued on this guy. And she had just tears rolling down her face. And her sign said, Syria, Yemen, Iran, welcome here, with a heart. She was sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. I was leaning off the curb practically onto an officer who just kind of leaned back and acted like I wasn't doing it because he could see what I saw and what I was trying to photograph.
They were being very nice to photographers.
They were being incredibly nice to photographers. At one point, I was on an overpass looking down at these guys, and they were smiling and waving and laughing and taking photos of me with their phones. And then they were all just on Instagram. They were hanging out. They were fine. There was absolutely no problem. But I couldn't hear what was being said between the girl and the officer in front of her, but he was whispering to her and trying to calm her down. And they were having some conversation that I couldn't hear from where I was standing, but he seemed to be consoling her.
Right.
She was pleading something with him and trying to get him to understand. And from what I
Probably
could tell by their
something
gestures,
along the lines of "I'm just doing my job."
right? And he's probably saying something like, "I know, I understand, and I'm just doing my
Yeah.
job. Like
You
it's
know,
okay,
like-
just stay back on the curb."
And
but
that
being
could be
kind.
the most important interaction that you have with police is getting them to admit that they're just doing their job, reminding them that the whole time, because that means they don't have to be mad, they don't have to be. But on the flip side of that, so that's why I wanted to have a hanky face, as now I call them, because I was like looking around, I'm like, these hanky faces, they're you know, are the hankies for an anonymity or tear gas?
People have their own reasons for them.
So a lot of it's just style.
There's also an argument. I can't defend it for various reasons or like object it to it. There's some articles going around about how like masking up is a form of white privilege, because if you're a white person, then you still blend into the crowd. Whereas like if there's only a few people of color at the thing, they're easier to identify.
I didn't even follow. I didn't track that at all.
It's just some 2017 internet race commentary.
I would say at this age, I think there's probably it's rooted like masking up is.
It's
probably,
rooted in anonymity.
It's okay.
Because like
because it's not going to filter out.
No, not at all. Not at all. Certain things will. Like the Home Depot guy who I also saw, like his would have helped out a bit. But yeah, I mean, if they throw tear gas, your sunglasses and fabric aren't going to do shit.
So at a certain point, before church got there, this is what happened. I think this could be a microcosm of what we're all facing. If we're all going to be protesting and marching, it's like this is a really difficult thing, because there was an exhilaration in the air, and part of the pride on the part of the protesters was, in no uncertain terms, the fact that we were working in what you have to call cooperation with the LAPD. That felt like a triumph. Now you're dealing with a police department that has been at a million of these, but on the other hand, all of these individual police officers are human beings, as are the protesters. But when I get home and I see basically that the protest got successfully broken up, you know, and I look back at it, it's like there was this moment where we were all standing and blocking the upper concourse, and one of the megaphone people said, you know, here's the deal. The cops are saying so far we haven't broken the law. Because they haven't issued a disperse order. When they issue a disperse order, we have a decision to make. Are we going to become criminals and turn this into a thing that's going to end up being a news item about how we were criminals and how the crime had to be put down? Alternatively, they've offered us a deal. They've said that we can stand on the sidewalk for 15 minutes or 30 minutes and then disrupt for 10 minutes and then do that in alternation. And there was a pause, and then someone called out, 15 minutes, 20, 15. And it turned to The Price is Right about how we got the nuts here. And it's like, I'm not disparaging that. I'm just pointing out the absurdity of it. It's not because what happened was a wedge got driven in between the people that have done this before and were not necessarily hoping things would deteriorate, but at the same time probably like that were prepared for it. And that's always going to be a smaller group. And so that is a tactic, right? Because rather than bother throwing tear gas at a large group of people that feels solidified, to stay in communication with them and to say, oh, we love Che Guevara. Che Guevara is your spokesman. We just talked to Che Guevara. Che, tell your people what we're telling them. We're telling you can have free bananas if you give us half of your guns. And then there's like all of this stuff like starts to you foment like a conversation among the protesters. Before that, there was no conversation.
I feel like if there were a couple things that made that specific. One, it was. If church, like you were at the Ferguson protests here in L.A.
Yeah, and it was a very different thing.
If it was 2,000 black people at the airport, I think it would have been different. And also, if it weren't an airport, it would have been different. They don't want to start putting chemical like agents out into an airport.
But all that is to say that we had the leverage. We had the airport shut down. Now, I don't know what our leverage translated to. But
Well,
sorry, go
there's-
ahead, Harry.
There's also a difference between a protest like the Women's March, where it's organized, it's in the daytime, they block off streets, and everybody knows where it's going to be and where the people will be going generally and what the plan is.
Right.
Versus at night, people just taking to the street because they're angry, or people showing up to a place like the airport that already has high security.
Okay, so Harry...
So the reaction is completely different by a police force coming out to try to contain and make sure that that's under control.
And where there's multiple law enforcement agencies.
Right. What I'm wondering is then because what happened was there were some hardcore elements that were like, no, then nothing happens. This is how they drive a wedge. And then there were like, here I am, 44. I'm hungry. My dogs are about to start pissing in the house. I've been there for 5 hours. Like, the last thing I wanted to do was be a pussy. But
You didn't see the girl who brought burritos?
no, there was plenty of
You left right before the burrito guy came out. She brought a bunch of fucking burritos.
I'm saying,
It
like,
was
to the extent
best.
that I'm up in the air, like a situation got created where now conversations are starting to happen. Like logic was invited, and I remember distinctly the moment where I felt at peace with stepping off of the street and onto the sidewalk, i.e., basically surrendering. The moment where I felt that was okay, where I wouldn't then go home and hate myself for giving in, was because there were like only a couple of people left who were arguing with each other, and one of them was screaming at the ones who wanted to stay and sit and get arrested. It's not about you, and she's not wrong. There was this messaging that was put into it. It was like, do we want the detainees to be in the newspaper? Do whatever the HuffPo's laser beam, the hologram, the Pokemons. Do we want the story to be about the detainees, or do we want it to be about how a bunch of hippies got stun gunned at the airport? Okay, so now, I at that moment I was like, here, I've done all the talking, but I want to be like, here's the thing: first protest, 44 years old, like so used to always doing the wrong thing. Like I always like think that I'm like, oh, it sounds like this, and then I'll like be so embarrassed. That's when I was like, okay, I now have permission to step on the sidewalk because this very passionate young woman is going like, it's not about you, and she's talking to like 4 or 5 people, and like. I don't know, and I won't know until someone else tells me whether it's the right thing to do to sit down, or leave. I was like, what if I undercut the fucking cause? It's like community creator and famous fat guy. There he is. It's like, what if that ends up and like being some kind of counter messaging or whatever? So now talk to me. Tell me what to do.
I think, well, sort of contrary to that request, I think it's important, no matter which side of an issue you're on, not to tell other people protesting the same thing how to protest. Whether that means if someone wants to get arrested for their cause, let them make that decision.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to chant a chant and hold a sign, let them make that decision. I think it's important to know what you're trying to accomplish and if what you're doing is everything you could be doing to accomplish that. So, like, if you want to make real change in government policy, holding a sign and chanting a chant isn't going to do that.
Because they've now incorporated that into their system if they hadn't already 60 years ago.
Yeah, well, and it's just like that's you being, by going to the airport, you're being a physical body supporting a message as well as actual people who are detained. But, like, if you have any illusions that what you're doing in that is really affecting larger change, which I think was one thing. Some people gave the Women's March kind of a bad rep for this, but I thought it was cool that they almost owned up to, like, we don't have a list of demands. We just want to make sure you know we're here and we're not fucking cool with this stuff.
Which I thought was that was the most important thing.
You could look at it either way.
Body count was the thing that was important. It was flesh scraping cement poured into the streets in every city around the world. That really got to our enemy.
So, like, if you go to a protest and the police give you a directive, it's basically just up to you to assess what it is you're trying to do and if listening to that directive or disobeying it is going to further your cause. So, like, if you're there just for moral support, maybe don't get arrested.
Uh-huh.
Or do. Like, that's your choice, but it's not going to... if you get arrested, you're not going to be able to be the body there.
Right.
Showing your support.
So what, so what do you think? You were there, did you? Yeah. And so you were like, you know what? For what we've done, we shut down the airport. Like LAX is not the epicenter of this. The LAPD is not in charge. Did you thought it was cool to just like shrink back and kind of like continue to have a presence there? It's like it becomes kind of a picket line in the sense that it's like a physical reminder.
Yeah, it sort of becomes up to you. Also, like having had been there for over a day already and knowing I was going to continue to be there, like those cops work long shifts. They come to recognize people who are there enough. If I'm going to continue to be there and do what I think is my best foot forward to help my cause or whatever, getting arrested doesn't help that. These cops recognize me already as the guy who's been here all week. Like, it's not useful for me to step to them. I know they're
Harry,
not the enemy.
How much time have you spent out there at LAX? Like, you've been there for multiple days? Or?
Yeah. I haven't been in a couple days because at a certain point I was like, I need to make rent money. But I was there for like 4 or 5 days, not sleeping there because I was like, I have a home to go to and I don't want to be more of a nuisance than by design.
Well, I found a good tactic because we just gotten off a plane. Like Dan said, I had my suit, Vivienne Westwood's garment bag over my shoulder. And I'm dressed like me, and there's a bunch of hippie. Harry? And I know we all saw that dude that was kind of the Native American guy with the drum that was just being the most punk rock dude in the world.
The tiny drum.
Yeah,
he was there a lot.
There was this guy dressed up like just this native like Incan. I don't know what he was. Just banging a drum right in the cops' faces, and they didn't they just let him do it. It was so cool.
Because they don't give a shit.
Yeah, because he was just this great drum major for the whole thing. But there was a moment when the organizers of the protest at LAX were saying, "Okay, guys, we need people upstairs and downstairs at the same time. So if you guys are comfortable going upstairs, we want to spread this out. Also, we need people inside to welcome the people coming out. So let's make sure that we're all here and we're all there." So Church and I think Dan and Cody had just gone. You guys just split. And this is like 10 p.m. and we got there like at 5. We went downstairs and it was time to go back into the street and disrupt things. So the cops said we can go and be disruptive for 15 minutes. And we can be off the sidewalk and be out in traffic and
Your
blocking.
next scheduled disruption will be permitted in T-minus.
Just so right-wingers are roasting you online for listening to cops, just so everyone's aware. Like, if you go and watch a right-wing chat room where they're, periscoping the protest, they're just like, look at these fucking idiots listening to police. Like, they don't know what they're doing.
Really? The right-wing people say that?
Yeah, because they're like, you think you're making a change, but you're sitting here obeying cops, which I'm not.
So also because they don't know the difference between a protest and a riot.
Yeah.
And also, hilariously, while it was happening, every 30 minutes, because it's LAX, hello, I'm Mayor Eric Garcetti.
While Eric Garcetti is not at the airport.
It's really funny. There's a guy painted blood red with a Native American drum in a cop's ear going, boom, boom, this is democracy. This is what democracy looks like, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, hello, I'm Eric Garcetti. I'm like, not a good time, Eric.
But we were a small group of people going downstairs to block the downstairs traffic too. And again, I feel bad about anybody that missed a plane or all that shit. It's a bummer. But we were trying. There was a lot of people being detained, and we were hoping that being there was going to get all these people released. It turns out 25 did get released, and then during that time, 100 more people got detained.
Because planes keep coming in.
Yeah,
right.
That's the central issue of what's going on at LAX that I think needs to be remembered. Yes, there's a bigger picture of Trump's executive orders in the large scale and overall policies about immigration, but specifically what's going on is people are being illegally detained and denied access to food, water, lawyers, family,
healthcare. Yeah, also
that's what's happening.
Yeah, there was
babies,
a woman
elderly,
there
it doesn't
with
matter.
stage 4 cancer.
Not even from just those 7 countries. They detained an Aeromexico flight of 100 passengers.
What?
A woman from Amsterdam. They're just. CBP is being crazy.
If you're a privileged white guy that has access to a garment bag, here's a little tip: go to a protest, look like you just landed, look like you didn't show up to the protest planning to be at the protest, and have a garment bag, and you get to walk up to the police and talk to them, and they absolutely give you the full order of information that you don't get if you look like a protester, because we all walked into the street. And they all lined up, put their sticks up, their masks down on their helmet shields, and started marching us back off the street. And it's like, back on the curb, back on the sidewalk, back on the sidewalk. And like, well, we had a deal. And they're, nope, you got to go back on the street. So I just I went out of the crowd because I'm a tall, privileged white guy with a garment bag.
We had a deal. We had a deal.
Jeff
starts walking over.
Awesomely, all the men got off the street. All the women in the group stayed in this fucking street and were right, like, chin up to the cops, saying, like, no, we had a fucking deal. And the cops, like, back on the street, back on the street. So I went down like Goldilocks and asked 3 different cops. I put my suit garment over my shoulder like I'm a Cary Grant. You know, like, hey, hello, matey. Did we change the deal? What's the difference now?
We had a deal.
And you guys are back on the curb, sir. I want you another cop. Hey, I thought we had a deal. 30 minutes on the sidewalk and 15 minutes in the road. And I wasn't really doing my bad Cary Grant impression.
Really committing to it.
But I was like, I thought did things change? What's going on, man? I thought you told these kids there was a thing. And the second cop goes, no, you got to get back on the sidewalk, sir. I went all the way down, the very last cop. I said, hey, wasn't there a thing like going on, like where there was like we could be on the thing for 30 minutes, out in the street for 50 minutes? And the guy kind of paused and looked around, and he goes, you have to be in the sidewalk. We were just out
the crosswalk.
The crosswalk. We have to be out in the crosswalk. And everyone, I ran back to the group.
We had a deal.
We got a deal. I go, everybody.
We had a deal.
Over to the crosswalk. Crosswalk.
Go to the crosswalk. Go to the crosswalk.
And the cops, the LAPD, stood on both sides of the crosswalk and protected us and let us do our thing for a while. So like I couldn't believe at an airport how nice they were being about that deal, because I think it was because it's an airport. Like they don't want to start shit when it doesn't need to be.
They weren't going to throw tear gas anywhere near the door to LAX.
Exactly.
Well, and I think our hearts were filled with hope, and perhaps naively, perhaps we're being laughed at for having this hope, is that it's the LAPD. Their job is to serve and protect the people of Los Angeles. These people, children of immigrants themselves, descending on this international hub of commerce, because LA fucking pumps and thrives with immigrant energy, foreign blood. That's America. That all of those cops also, as civil servants, are like, I am here to protect your freedom of speech. I think we all felt that high of like, the cops are being chill right now because they know we're right and they want us to win. And that allowed us to make deals with them and get high off of that. Oh, the teacher put an apple on my desk. I think one thing that's really important is that this sea of like there's like 150 people in this room, and this is a scientific important statement, not a shaming one, that absolutely nobody here yet. This is like my predominantly white audience, and certainly all of them, regardless of gender, background, whatever, they're all nerds. They're all like analytical thinkers, and we've all been guilty of this where we sit and we're watching what's happening, and you don't want to side with a dirty, belligerent hippie any more than you want to side with a fascist cop. Like your instinct, because you are like me, like you're like, you want to be Han Solo. He's the smart one. He's the logical one. You were an individualist. Like that's your American values. That's the way you express how you are. You don't see any merit in joining a throng. What good could come of that? And I don't want to ever tell you what to do. And I'm proud of the fact that my audience has never protested. But like, I'm now saying, like, because this time is crucial. I'm 44. If you're 25, you may have been a child when the dangling Chad election happened, and you felt like, well, this is just sort of how it goes. There's a lot of contention sometimes. This is nothing like that. Like, we're living in a fucking history book right now, and shit is going down, and we don't have to be doomsayers, but we don't have to choose between that and being naive, but I think that it is valuable for us to get out there, and it's easier than you think to just go, like, well, maybe it's easier than you think. Let's ask Harry. Like, you can show up to this shit and no one is going to demand that you handcuff yourself to a redwood tree and get cut down with it. Like you can show up and dip your toe in. You can bring Krispy Kreme donuts. Like if you believe in privilege, then privilege is a weapon at these places. Like your lily white face, your lack of antagonism, like as unfair as it is to a cop that's looking through a riot helmet, like it actually can be a tool that you're not using if you don't go to these things. So Cody and I are, we're figuring it out. Like, we got to go to this shit. I think Black Lives Matter protests must be in dreadful need of big fat white people, just to go into the middle. There's a hand raised here. Let's all do it right now. There's got to be a protest going. Well, that's
the thing is, we have a president who doesn't read and doesn't probably know how to read well. And whether he's dyslexic or he just has whatever, he's just like a willfully ignorant person, he cannot and does not look at words, but he does look at images. And I think the only thing that can really fuck him up is the visual, stunning images of a zillion people protesting his every fucking move. And I think the thing that fucked him off more than anything in the world was the day after a shittily attended inauguration was that women and a couple honorable, honorary dudes got to go out there and filled the streets, the biggest protest in the country's history. And he does see pictures because he's a child. He wouldn't. Yeah. So we have to go to every fucking thing.
And Harmenians you're on the spectrum. You're logical. You're thinking we need we need you to no one wants you to be different. No one wants you to be less logical, less analytical, less alienated, less isolated. I'm just suggesting for a second that logical, analytical brain. What's that?
Hear him out. Hear him out. Why?
Everyone but that guy is invited.
I'll answer your question in a second, sir. I think I know what your question is. I will. Why do we need white people for the Black Lives Matter? Because Black Lives Matter protests are not suggesting that Black lives are the only ones that matter, and right, okay.
We're sitting here saying we need white people
right.
to make this movement matter.
Because cops love us is the answer.
But it's also very important, as white people, assess the value you bring to the table, some of which is your privilege, but also, don't forget to listen to people who are way more disenfranchised than you. If you show up to a Black Lives Matter protest as a white person, fucking listen to the black people when they tell you what to do or to not do.
Yeah, Church, you were saying at the Ferguson thing that you were among the white people at the Ferguson protest and that you got big respect and lots of love for being there, right?
Oh, well, I was among many white people who were there joining them in their effort because, and the conversation that I had with a couple of girls as we marched and were met by police every time we turned a corner was the fact that they were happy that I was there and to see so many white people turning up to support them, and not just white people, but Mexicans coming out and being Black Lives Matter, because what they need is to not be preaching to the choir and to not just be yelling amongst themselves was how they communicated it to me. They're like, we need the community to show that they support this idea, whether they're black themselves or not.
Because he may be voicing an id part of the brain that's or not to diminish that, but it's I want to make sure I understand. To the extent that you're speaking for some part of our brain, well, what's the point of all of this egalitarianism if we're talking about these, now we're going to become little fascists and say, we need more white people here and we need black people here, we're becoming too racially conscious. And maybe that's part of what you're responding to is wait, I thought you were liberals. Why are we now talking about people like they're insects and sorting them by race? Isn't that what we're trying to get away from? I'm not putting words in your brain, but maybe that's what you're responding to.
White people listen to other white people too. Historically, they don't listen to black voices.
Exactly.
So while you shouldn't as a white person be the person in charge, be the messenger to your white friends. Sure.
But also there's another thing. It's just even if you don't leave your apartment, that analytical brain of yours that fires on the pistons, it's really, really easy. It feels really comfortable. It's like a foot slipping into a warm ugh, like to fall back on that. If you're Spock and you're watching what's happening right now, you're definitely like, if you commit to that Vulcan energy, you are definitely always going to be like, well, none of this really makes any sense. It doesn't really make sense to do anything. That will doing stuff will never hold up to logic. And I think that it's just like, all I'm saying is, like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you that your drunk uncle, who has spent like a really criminally long time like not giving a shit about this stuff, is like super alarmed, and you can chalk that up to like, oh, your drunk uncle's gotten to that age where you start caring about that shit. 45-year-old people are uncharismatically political. Like that's what happens. I'm 25. I fucking care about Bitcoin. I don't give a shit about this. And I don't know that you're wrong. I will only just tell you that your drunk uncle has decided that this is fucking, like, we're entering a crossroads of, like, there's Fourth Reich or there's like rebirth, or probably something in between. But like, as people keep saying, like, you know, all those fantasies about time traveling and going back to these points in history and what would you do if you were there? You are actually in one right now, and you have never been in one. I have never been in one. I'm 44, and I never did this. I voted for Ross Perot when I was 18 and thought, like, I was like, yeah, fucking stiff the system. And so I guess I thought, because there was a third party allowed at the debates, and I was like, this guy's neat. And he's like, what do I care about abortion? Balance the budget. God damn it. If a raccoon don't hunt, who cares if it's pregnant? And I was like, so, and it's worth noting that probably makes me a guy that might have been susceptible to a kind of like weird, hacky Trump like kind of thing, like if I was 23 these days. And I doubt a lot of those people are in my audience, but I at the same time, I think a lot of my listeners are probably like very wisely, guardingly like, yeah, but I don't want to be one of these like liberals that like screams and shrieks and goes like, you that like I hate, you know, like it's like it throws your logic triggers. You go like, that can't be a good result. Like, this is all about escalation. I see that a lot. All I'm saying is, so then what you could do is like, and if we have to coordinate it like through this podcast or something, so that, you know, for instance, hey, I'll be there too, and we'll have donuts and coffee and let's go to this shit.
I would say let's put out whatever we can do to put out that bat signal and say like because we live in LA, like let's make sure that the people that live here know that like if it matters, we're going there. And also let's find out, like, for people that are listening around the country and around the world, where they're going to go, and let's all like make a loud noise. Like, Spencer, I want to ask you, because you've been very vocal, like Twitter and stuff like that, about like your, you know, like you've been very activist, like talking about stuff. Are you a physical activist, like want to go out and do stuff, or are you more like? Yeah, I'm not making a joke. Like are you someone that would actually get out there and like?
No, my flight came home a day early, so.
No, I
did not make it out.
I'm not making a joke, but are you someone that would take to the streets? Like, would you get out there and like?
I'm for it, sure.
Yeah. I say we do it. Certainly, there's the one in L.A. for the tax thing on was it?
That's not till like April though.
April, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
no, there was a march today at Pershing Square.
Yeah, there was. Today was
there's
no
loads
dapple.
of marches all like
Right.
like almost every day.
There might be ways to foment like change, rebellion, get the health out of this process that has nothing to do with you going and holding up a sign or a clever T-shirt or whatever.
If you're a hacker, don't go to a protest. Fucking get those tax returns. Like, stay home, work on your computer.
If you're a fan fiction writer, start one of these rogue government accounts and do lie. And spread propaganda, messaging, like
resources.
figure out ways to whittle away at the heart of the American people. Yeah. What is the angle? Because the frontal assault of the opposition party was like through these like kind of like really brute force misspelled memes and stuff. It was like it appeals to some lizard part of our brain. I don't think we should compete in that playground, but when I see these like rogue government accounts, like it occurs to me, it's like, if this is fake, then this is amazing anti-meme technology, because it draws in like turning turning the idea that there's rebellion going on into fan fiction, for instance, and actually properly punctuating and using good grammar to create the illusion that you're reading a Twitter feed from inside the White House as the rebellion is happening. It's like that's like a really important way to use your nerdiness, your whatever. What are we talking about?
What can we do to help?
You're already doing it. In the words of Jello Biafra, don't hate the media, become the media. Go take photos.
Well, I'm asking from the perspective of an audience that's also being kind of encouraged here, but you know, it occurs to me that not everybody in this audience may actually agree with what we're saying, and a lot of the listeners might
that's
not
horseshit.
either. But
Then call me and we can talk about it. I want to know what you feel. If you disagree, I'd love to hear how you feel.
But I do think that, like, whatever that means, not everybody's going to be able to go out and protest or whatever it is, you know, that we're talking about.
You're raising your fingers in.
Oh, let's let her talk, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting right now legally to shut this down immediately, and if you don't have the ability to go outside, you have the ability to get
to support certain to support in things like the
Yeah,
ACLU.
for everybody's
Yes.
birthday or upcoming, like if you're gonna buy, like I said, like on Twitter, like Valentine's Day or anybody's upcoming birthday, instead of getting them some meaningless like little trinket or whatever like that, just donate any small amount of money to ACLU because
Especially your
they've
redneck
made
families,
I think they average like on a regular year like $3 and $4 million in donations a year. It's over $20 million I think right now. Like since like 2 weeks ago, like since he took office.
So also start giving money to more other organizations.
Exactly.
Because ACLU is good for a minute.
Yeah, it's
like no, shout out to you
Sierra
guys doing
Club.
your matching.
Yeah.
That's good. But like also, there's like you can't just give to one. There's a
I
bunch.
might have choked back. We kind of like got in on it, and then we're like, they just reported that they have $200 billion. But I think the ACLU can use every penny.
Absolutely.
That's
not to say we shouldn't be
But,
giving them money.
but donate like time. If you don't have money, donate time, and if you don't have time or money, donate your voice to stuff like that.
If you're a foodie and a chef and you're barely political, you might just be like, I feel bad for hungry people that are protesting at these places. Like, I think the important thing to know as a person that got dropped privilegedly and lazily into the middle of a protest and found out it's actually very comfortable and easy is like, and now therefore may have the courage to like get up and like put on my fanny pack and like go to one. Is that it's easier than you think. It's not a criminal activity. You don't have to commit to like take me to jail, mace me in the face. Like, I think the numbers count, the complexions count for bad reasons, sir. It's because it's an unfair system, whatever. It's like it's just a strategy. It's just more strategy, saying like get the more news articles about a bunch of people like showing up and saying this is bullshit.
I think the imagery is going to speak louder because people stopped reading and people don't believe anything that's told to them. I think pictures of who showed up to which inauguration are undeniable, and the fact that a zillion women came out like that, like what beats that shit? Like nothing beats that, and it was all over the world. Like people did it everywhere. How about the fucking like 12 people in bitter ass cold Alaska? That's like hats off to all of like that picture made me cry. Like that's heavy fucking hitting. Like a picture says way more than any tweet or anything like that. And a bunch of people smiling, and the fact that there were no arrests and everybody I kept stepping on people's toes and they were cool about it. Like during the women's protest, it was fucking magical.
Yeah. Also, I'm so sorry to everybody that's listening from Alabama, Wyoming, all this stuff. Where like I'm always taking shits, and it's like I fall for that like red versus blue thing, and it's like. You see these photos, it's like, oh, it's Alabama, and there's like people thrusting signs in the air. It's like, fuck Nazis, you know. It's like, of course.
You know, Dan, the way to make it up to them is because it's about the end of the show. Is maybe you do a nice laid back apology to those people, and Church, if you want to do like the Rihanna hook on it. You know,
oh my God, Church is she's also. Oh my God, I forgot about Church's other identity. Yo.
It's about to get so
also,
goddamn
Schraub,
laid
Spencer,
back.
Harry, if you want to get in here.
Yo.
It's about time. About time for the rhyme about democracy.
Stop
hypocrisy. From the A to the B, to the C, to the D, to the E, F, G, to the H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Alphabet letter.
X, Y, Z. I'm talking alphabets.
But that's off topic. Language. What do you use when you fuck your mama's pussy? Do you blow her fuse? Go down to the breaker. I brought your mama. I take her into the bedroom.
Till the break of dawn. I fucked your mama to the break of dawn. Why is it that we fuck to the break of dawn? Is that a hard out? Or is it more, are we saying like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you for a long time? But the more you think about it, you start to think like, wait, are we vampires? Does your dick stop working as the sun breaks the horizon? Oh, baby, sorry. Thank you for letting me fuck you. Dawn has broken. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna force myself to fucking come and... my therapist is asking me to question whether neurologically I'm actually jerking off to the break of dawn at this point. I'm not even sure if I'm attracted to women. I'm becoming more of a strange dawn fetishist. I'm gonna lay your body down like a clown. My name is MC America. Don't be hysterical about what's going on. Just got some Nazis on the front lawn. Grab your Glock, 1719. Protect your block, know what I mean? Protect your housekeepers, protect your Jewish friends, your Mexican friends. Protect them. The means don't justify the ends. Build a crawl space if you have the time. We may be coming up on Anne Frank times.
Bomb shelter.
Not sure if you groaned the protection of innocent people, or just, I guess you're conditioned. You hear certain words and you react. And that's fine, but it's also why a fascist got elected. You are to blame. There's blood on your hands no matter what lever you pull. My name is Auto-Tune Johnson.
You'd think I'd be more in tune by now. All right, yo, my name is yo. 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 Go, Joe, G.I. Joe. Yo, American hero. I fucked your mama so hard she looked like Nero, Roman emperor. Okay.
History. Buying time.
Yo, I woke up this morning, had some bread. I had a stomachache, went back to bed. I took some NyQuil with night PM. Yo, I sat up in bed, said, whoa, I had a nightmare. Went downstairs, and I went back upstairs. Nightmare and upstairs rhymes. And I went downstairs, and I had a nightmare on the stairs. I had a stair nightmare. I had a night stare. I stared at my own stairs. And I did it at night, and I did it in the day. I fucked your mama so hard, her pussy grew some hay. Wait, okay, all right, here we go. Wait, but I want you to really belt it out. You're like, but I know you're waiting for me to do a recognizable like rap verse, and then you're gonna like fucking belt out like a hook.
Okay. Here we go. City to city, town to town. I fucked your mama's frown until it was upside down. It was a smile. I made her happy. I fucked your mama so hard the sounds were slappy. You heard my balls going up against your butt. I fucked your mama and served her hot nuts in a bowl, walnuts too. I got the almonds, what you gonna cashew do? I got the cashew to you, got the cashew you, got the cashew to do.
Cashew.
Not you.
If not me, then who?
All right, sorry. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Woke up on the 4th of July, said my country's in trouble, and I wonder why. I went out in the street and I saw all the people. Why do I always rhyme people? It's the only thing is steeple. That's the only thing you could ever do. Starting over. Woke up in a bed. Then I ate some bread. But that bread was freedom. My name is Hal Needham.
Freedom bread.
Take it, church.
Is that white bread?
Thank you for coming to Harmontown, everybody. Let's hear it. Cassandra Church. Harry, the pickle-hating protester. Rob Schraub. Adam Goldberg. Spencer Crittenden. I'm Jeff Davis. Your mayor, Dan Harmon.
Thank you, Harry. Harry, for sharing his...
Thank you all. Let's organize. Let's take down the Tangerine Tyrant.
And then what?
Drive fast and take chances.